Attention, please.
Okay, guys, show us what you got.
I did not like the milk stem.
That's fine for me. That's good.
This one was the most polite game I had ever seen.
That sounds perfect.
Those are just stupid things that aren't supposed to happen.
Oh, she abused that guy.
I like the attitude.
Protect the house. Your teams, your season is on now.
Oh, they throw a flag.
It's Sports Talk.
It was time to stop this before something bad happened to him.
Hey, listen, it's a blessing to be 22-4. But it's also frustrating. I've never been so frustrated with a team that's 22-4 that, they just play with our emotions. And 22-4, I'm so selfish. I think we should be 24-2. I think we should be 25-1. That's the way I'm feeling right now because of the way I bought into all the hype at the beginning of the season. It's fun to be at 22-4. But it's, one of those situations where I just preach week in and week out is that I don't trust these guys. And for good reason, I don't trust these guys. We're moving into March now, and we're only playing with a 7, maybe 8-man rotation. And this is the time of year where fatigue starts to set in. Well, our kids are tough. Maryland's kids, and Turgeon's got a tough bunch on that in that locker room. Those guys are tough, but they run out of steam and they start making boneheaded mistakes, especially in the second half. How many big halftime leads have we blown this year only to hang on in the second half? I think that's fatigue, and that's one thing that's plaguing Maryland right now. And, I'm afraid that it's going to hurt us once we get into March. I still firmly believe that this team is capable of winning 30 games once it's all said and done, through the Big Ten and through the NCAA tournament. I would almost say that we can't miss winning 30 games. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal, especially when it comes to recruiting, getting booster backing money, financials.
Yeah.
There's some people out there saying that this team is a bona fide Final Four team that could possibly sneak in and win it all. I don't want to hear that. As much as I want to hear it, I don't want to hear that.
And that's the last thing that these kids need to hear is somebody touting them that high. I just don't think, a 22-14, you're looking great. Down in Durham, 22-4, you're having a normal year. But this 22-4 is a scary 22-4. We could very easily have 6, 8, 9, 10 losses. Very easily. We've been fortunate. This team has been very fortunate.
Well, do you think they're peaking at the right time? It seems like it.
Now they're on a 7-game heater, an 8-game heater. It's just 9-game heater. You're playing on the road in Ohio State, coming off of a loss. That's going to be hard. I think they could beat Ohio State. Of course, they could beat Ohio State. They beat them before.
Now Ohio State just got beat by Iowa, so that's in the back of their mind. Is their season lost? Are they on the downslope? It could be. It's a perfect opportunity for us to go in and beat the pants off of them.
Wasn't Ohio State way up there, and then all of a sudden
Ohio State was in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean they got out
this
early.
Game is where's this game? Is it at Maryland?
It's in Columbus.
It's in Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's away.
Maryland's next 2 road games, the next 2 games for Ohio State, then they got to go at Minnesota. That's a big barn. The barn.
Ohio State was ranked as high as second. And that was only December 23rd they were ranked second. They've gone.
They were a top 5 team.
Yeah, 2, 5, 11, 21. They were preseason ranked 18th, which is probably where they that was a good guess for them.
You say it's going to be fatigue, right? That kills them in the end, right?
I think so.
Well, right now they're rotating 9, if you will. It's really Smith, Cowan, Morcell, Ayala, Scott, and Wiggins. Smith has been getting, and Lindo has been getting in there. It's really those 5, and Wiggins did have a good showing against Northwestern. They had the game, pretty much the whole. So you should get the starters in, or the starters out, and the reserves in for that game. Absolutely.
And Wiggins played 29, so they're really just using 6 guys.
Yeah, you've got 6 guys that are averaging 20 minutes a game or more.
That's what that goes to what Pete was saying. He's worried it's only been 6, even though it's only 8 minutes for Smith and 2 for Lindo. At least they're getting in there.
They're getting in there, Kevin. But the bottom line is, these kids that are only getting 4, 5, 7, 9 minutes a game. They're sitting for 31 minutes. The kid that's getting 9 minutes a game, Lindo. I was looking at Lindo's line. Lindo's even worse. It's 7.5 minutes a game.
Right.
Are those productive 7.5, 7.5 minutes? No, they're not. Those aren't productive minutes. He's just in there giving somebody a blow. Somebody's going to go sit at the end of the bench. And that's where other teams are catching up, is that when we're resting our guys, you got kids in there that are just taking up space. They're just breathing good air.
I think the thing that's going to kill Maryland is against Northwestern, launching 30 three-point shots and making 8 of them. You can't shoot that much. I mean, I like Anthony Cowan Jr. about as much as Pete likes Braden Holtby. So
it's because he went to St. John's, is that it?
But when I did not know that.
Yeah.
But when he drives, he gets to the foul line.
Which is what you're supposed to do. A player like him, which is like Pete and I have always said, that's ACC basketball and WCAC basketball.
And when you're sticks and you're 6'10",
you don't do that.
And you're standing near or under the basket and getting offensive rebounds and putting them back, you're scoring points and you're getting to the line. But what you shouldn't be doing is taking 5 threes. 30. They took 30 total. Anthony Wiggins was in there for 29 minutes. Took 6 3-pointers, made 1.
Right.
Okay. I know when you get the coaches that just go, just keep shooting, they'll start falling. There's got to be a point where you say, you know what? Stop.
Well, I mean,
and Jalen Smith, to his credit, I mean, he's not supposed to be doing that. He's almost a 40% 3-point. He's at 38% right now. It's crazy. He's higher than Anthony Cowan.
He's at 54% overall. Cowan's shooting almost 40%, and Aaron Wiggins is shooting 36%. Those are high. They're taking low percentage shots. If Sticks was playing down low, where I think he should be, he'd be shooting damn near 60%.
Was it the first Ohio State game where Jalen was really playing the role of a traditional big guy, even blocking shots from behind as guys were going up for layups? I was so excited after that game. I haven't seen it since.
They're still playing that inside-out game. When I say inside-out, is that they look like they want to penetrate, and they're kicking it out. However, Cowan and Wiggins each are starting to drive the lane, but they still don't have anybody coming in behind crashing to get if there's going to be a rebound. 80% of the time they're getting fouled by taking the ball in there, but they still don't have anybody crashing.
And that is true. There was a couple times.
Get them in trouble.
And that's a couple of times I saw during even the Northwestern game where the shot was up and everyone was running back on defense. Like, fellas, if it doesn't go in, you still get a chance to rebound and take it in. But they just vacated that half of the court.
Well, Maryland's playing crazy on defense right now. Yeah. They're playing lights out defense. And that's good to see. That's real good to see.
And that'll get them to the Sweet 16.
That's exactly right. You just took the words right out of my mouth, Joe. That in itself will push them to the Sweet 16 because you already know that they're capable of winning a close game, and they're going to win those games with defense. They're not going to make a living falling behind by 12 points right off the bat, 16 points right off the bat.
They can't.
They're not going to. They just can't do that. This is the wrong time of year to do that. So I think they've cured that and settled down a little bit on that. They're going to be in for a lot of dogfights.
So let me ask you this. Who do you think the leader on the team now is? Because Cowan was, in the first half or even 3/4 of the season, Cowan was not the leader. Jalen Smith was the leader. Now they're kind of co-leaders on the court. So who do you think going down the pike is? I think Cowan takes it over. Yeah.
I think Cowan should be because he's exactly. He's the
But
senior.
his leadership, even in his play, he could not lead. Now he's come up to standards. He's really getting better. He was struggling early on in the season. Now his play and leadership are combining, and I think that's a huge, feather in Maryland's cap going down the pike here.
Well, I think early in the season they were guilty of reading their own news clippings. Maryland's so great. Maryland is everybody's All-American. Maryland's number 5 in the country. Maryland's number 3 in the country. This is the Final Four team. And then they started getting fed onion sandwiches, and the next thing you know, you lose 2 in a row, and then you squeak a couple out, and you lose 2 more in a row, and you squeak a couple out. Now they are reading their news clippings. They got to start penetrating. They got to start playing a little bit more physical. They got to get to the foul line more, where they weren't doing that a month ago. Now they are. They're reading their news clippings, and they're actually doing what they're being told to do. I'm not saying that it's not Turgeon coaching them, because he is a good coach. He's frustrating because he allowed this team to get away from him. Still think this is a rogue basketball team. I still think that they go against a lot of what they're working on, but at least they're working in the right direction now.
Sports talk in the district and around the nation.
With Kevin Copley, Pete Kalish, and Joe Evans.